there's one thing I love in this dark, cruel, depressing world of ours, it's music. Specifically, video game music, and today I wanted to talk to you about some games that I've been playing recently that have some straight-up killer soundtracks. Music in video games is something that's really important to me. I feel like it can add so much to the experience. The games that I'm going to be talking about today all have amazing music that fits their theme perfectly and adds a lot to what the game has to offer. So without further ado, let's get started. I wanted to start the video with what is probably the most high-profile game on my list, and that's Gravity Rush. Originally released on PlayStation Vita and then later ported to PS4, Gravity Rush is a stunning game where you take control of the gravity-bending waifu named Kat, and with her, you go soaring through the game's dense and stylized districts that are packed with personality. While you're doing this, the game treats you with a beautiful orchestral soundtrack that adds to the sense of awe and wonder that the world already possesses so much of. The composer of the game's soundtrack is none other than Kohei Tanaka, who, if you're a fan of anime, you might already be familiar with as he is the composer for the music in the anime One Piece. I actually decided to try this game out based on that fact alone, and boy was I not disappointed. While the game may be far from perfect, the feeling of soaring through the sky as the game's beautiful music fills the air is truly something special, and I think everyone should experience it. Now, I'm gonna shut up for a second and let you hear parts of some of my favorite tracks from the game. The next game on my list is Fury, an action-packed bullet hell hack and slash where the entire game is a series of back-to-back boss fights. If I had to use one word to describe the music in Fury, it would be electrifying. The soundtrack does an amazing job of adding an intense pulsation of energy and suspense to each of the game's 10 boss fights and works with them to create some amazing set pieces. Boss battles are such a significant part of video games, and the music you hear during them can make or break the experience, but in this aspect, Fury constantly nails it with absolutely amazing music that fuels the game's intense fights. The game's music was actually created through a collaboration of multiple artists. These artists include Carpenter Brute, Danger, The Toxic Avenger, Lorne, Scattle, Waveshaper, and Knight. All of these musicians injected their own unique style into the soundtrack, and it helps to make each boss fight feel even more unique. Although not every boss in the game is a winner in terms of design, I think that this game is definitely worth a playthrough if you're in the mood for wailing on some cyberpunk edgelords. Now let's take a quick break and listen to some of my favorite songs from this game's soundtrack. Next up is Lovely Planet, a first-person shooter and platforming hybrid that was built with speedrunning in mind. This game is impossible to play without a giant coat hanger smile on your face, and that's thanks to the game's bubbly and energetic soundtrack. As you're zooming through the game's colorful and crazy stages, the music serves as a heartbeat that just makes the game feel so alive. All of the game's tracks loop constantly, and you'll be hearing them a lot as you replay the game's stages and try to better your time. What would be a frustrating process of playing the game's levels over and over again trying to get a better score is completely alleviated by the constant upbeat music that's flowing through the gameplay. Lovely Planet's soundtrack is done by Callum Bowen, who's known for his upbeat and unique style that travels across all of his work. Most recently, you might recognize his work in the Nintendo Switch game Snipper Clips. You can hear his unique flair underlying all of his work, and I just can't get enough of it. I seriously love this dude. He's one of my favorite video game composers, and I really look forward to seeing what he does in the future. Here are some clips of my favorite songs from Lovely Planet. I wanted to save my personal favorite game on this list for last, and that's Mighty Switch Force, a side-scrolling puzzle platformer with the grooviest, funkiest, most booty-shakenest soundtrack I've ever heard in my life. The reason I wanted to save this game for last is because it serves as a perfect example of how a game's music can draw people to it. I initially had never heard of this game before, but I was looking for music to put into a video one day, and a song from Mighty Switch Force came up inside of a playlist that I was browsing. Not even 5 seconds into the first song, I was already in love. I sat there and I listened to the entire soundtrack and I was just blown away, and then immediately after listening to it, I bought the game and I ended up loving it too. I just think it's so cool how music can give a game like a unique draw, even if it's not the type of game I would usually play, and this game is the perfect example of that. When I looked up who created the game's soundtrack, I wasn't surprised at all because it was done by Jake Kaufman, who's responsible for some of the best indie game music in the business. Most notably, he worked on Shovel Knight, which has an award-winning soundtrack that everybody's heard by now, but he's also done music for some of the Shantae games, as well as Crypt of the Necrodancer, and a ton more. This dude seriously knows what he's doing, and if you want to listen to some more amazing music, just go and check out his Bandcamp because it's absolutely packed with great songs. Now, let's wrap up the video with some of my favorite songs from Mighty Switch Force. Thank you so much for watching this video, I really do appreciate it. This took me literally forever to make, so please let me know what you thought of it in the comments, that way I can improve my videos in the future. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe, that way you can catch the next video when it comes out. See ya.